Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I am glad you're here. I am Lisa, and you are catching the 12 Days of Hope for Heidi Allen. I'm doing weekday live cooking demos out of the Heidi Allen cookbook. And if you subscribe to the page, you just got a notification because mine just dinged on my phone that I am live. So I hope that you are here. Say hello when you jump in if you're feeling brave. And if not, that's okay. Just enjoy the live cooking demo. And today we are making our third dessert out of the Heidi Allen cookbook. And today's dessert is glazed spice bars on page 54. And the person that submitted it did not include their name. So I don't know who to give the credit to, but I'm really looking forward to it. So, all right. Tonight's shirt says we support the Heidi Allen Search Center. And it had the number of the search center. And then on the back, where's Heidi? And so far, the other shirts I've washed after I wore them, they're coming out clean. So I probably should have thrown these all in the washer. Still, I haven't found my shirts. I'm wearing my husband's right now. But trying to spotlight even the shirts that we had back when Heidi disappeared. Okay. And then I did not get my charger, so I'm hoping I have enough battery life. It says 44 minutes. Okay. Hang on. Let me just grab my charger real quick. This is the beauty of live. Now I know what I forgot to do. So let me get that just so that we don't lose ourselves in the middle. I know what I'm going to do. Thanks, Ed. All right, my husband, if you hear drilling and stuff in the background, we lost water. Oh, it doesn't work. I can't put my other pluggy in there. All right. So we'll plug in here. But this is the beauty of Alive. Okay. I'm just going to have this ready just in case. Did I tell you my tagline is keeping it real? Yeah, that's about it too. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to move the recipe up here. All right. So I have the cookbook here with the recipe on it. I'm going to set it over here where I can still see it and it's out of the way. Now the recipe says to boil together raisins, water, and Crisco for 3 to 5 minutes. Mix together remainder of ingredients, stir into the boiled mixture, spread on greased and floured large cookie sheet, bake at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so I'm not going to boil it on the stove. I'm going to use my amazing, awesome Epicure multi-purpose steamer. So I have the lid and the insert. We're not going to need the insert, so I'll put it over there to wash. Now, so it says to add the 2 cups of raisins. And this is 14 or 15 ounces, so I need 1 more ounce. So I have the large box of raisins. Okay. I have the large box of raisins. Got one sticking in there. Come on, little boy. All right. And then I have one of the single packs, which is about an ounce. So that'll give us our 16 ounces of raisins. Okay. So we got our raisins in there. And then 2 cups of water. All right. 2 cups of water, pre-measured, just in case the water wasn't back on yet. All right. And 2/3 cup of shortening. So I have that. I already pre-measured everything for us. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. And it says you want to bring it to a boil. So what I'm going to do is put it in the microwave. And I'm going to do 4 minutes and get it nice and hot. And then it says, well, that's cooking. You want to mix the other ingredients. So I have my 3.5 cups of flour. I have 1.5 cups of sugar. Okay. And 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to use my 4-in-1 measuring spoon from Epicure because that's awesome. 1, 2 of baking soda. I had a new one out because I didn't think I'd have enough in there. And then 2 of baking powder. 1, 2. All right. And then we also are going to add a teaspoon of cloves, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I already measured mine out using my 1 cup prep bowl. And then we're just going to stir it, and I'm just going to use the tablespoon side of my 4-in-1 measuring spoon from Epicure and mix these, the sugar, the flour, the baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg all together. Okay. Epicure does have a delicious cinnamon, all natural. It doesn't go through the same refining process as some of your other seasonings do, but they don't have like all of the baking spices. All right, so I mix that up so that I have all of those dry ingredients are ready to go, so we can just add them in. And we have 2 minutes left. So let me wait that 2 minutes. So this is 12 Days of Hope for Heidi Allen. My sister disappeared Easter Sunday, April 3rd, 1994, and remains missing today. And one way my family remembers her, honors her, especially during the holidays, is we do something special for her. And so this year I thought I really miss doing my blog and speaking and sharing with others to inspire them and encourage them. And I love to cook, so why not mix them all together? So the blog goes a little bit deeper than what you get here, because it's just me and a pen and paper. And, if I end up blatting and crying or whatever you call crying, nobody's there to watch me. It's not on camera. You read the words, but you don't see, how it may or may not be, making me whatever. But so to do the blog, I had some pictures already scanned. Some, have been in previous blogs or for things we've done as a family. But I went through the photo albums again to find new photos, and I did. And then you know how that is, that nostalgia of when you start going through the old photos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember this. Oh, I remember this. Oh, that's not Christmas, but oh, I remember this. I'm like, oh, this is the best Christmas picture. Oh, I remember that, blah, blah, blah. And, and I'm telling my daughter, I'm telling my husband, and then I'm crying. And I'm like, I want to keep that one for us. I don't want to put that on the blog. I don't want to put that out in public. That's our memory. And for families of the missing or families that have had a tragedy and your loved one's case is all over the news or whatever, sometimes it's hard, okay? And there's things that you just want to keep as, your person. So, as great as the photos were, and I really loved the idea of sharing them, they were ones that, I said, I really want to keep those just for us. All right, so I'm going to stir this because our Crisco hasn't quite melted. So we're going to put this back in again. All right, it's almost there though. Just needs to be stirred. All right. So some of those photos that I really, really loved and, really choked me up per se. I'm not using them. I'm taking the lid off now. so that it's not creating any more water. I just realized that, you know, the multi-purpose steamer, all that steam's building with the lid on. We don't want extra steam, so, or extra liquid. Now, a way you could make this recipe quicker is simply to do the raisins in the water and then and the Crisco, but then instead of the flour, the sugar, the baking soda, the baking powder, the cloves, the nutmeg, and the cinnamon, just mix it with our Epicure carrot cake, let it sit for 20 minutes and bake it in the oven, and it's done. And it's gluten-free. So this would be like your gluten-free alternative to the glazed spice bars. So these are our Epicure carrot cake, and I think that would be a nice switch. So instead of following the recipe as per the package where it called for carrots, you would add the 2 cups of raisins, and it would, because this is cloves and cinnamon and nutmeg to make our carrot cake. So you could make the carrot cake a gluten-free glazed spice bar using our carrot cake mix and just swapping out the raisins, or swapping out the carrots for raisins. Isn't that a great idea? So as that's working, what we can do is we will make the glaze for the top. All right. I haven't even opened my confectionery sugar yet. Put that down. All right. So the recipe simply says, it's this basic, put a thin icing of confectioner's sugar, butter, vanilla, and milk on top. Not really a recipe or what to do, just mix those things together and make icing, which I think is funny because I think icing is so challenging to make. And they just kind of like say, oh, I'll just do this, and voila, you have it. Which means that person makes it so often, it is that easy, right? So I'm going to grab my mini whisk. And I already had the vanilla in the bowl and the butter in the bowl. So I just added the confectionery sugar, and I will add the milk in a minute, but I'm just going to whisk this for a bit. So we have about 2.5 minutes left on the raisin mixture there. And we're just going to work on the icing while that's going. And then it calls for a little milk. I'm not going to use milk though. I'm just going to use a little hot water if I have water. I don't have water. We're going to use milk. I told you this is why most everything was measured out, because I wasn't sure. So a little milk in there. All right. And I'm using my 4-cup prep bowl because I was able to set it aside and put the lid on it while I worked. I've got 1.5 minutes. Well, let's see if I can get this icing done. I mean, not that it has to be done right now because it still has to bake in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. If you want to see how they turn out, I will add a picture to the blog that was posted this morning. I will put that out, add the photo to that. Or I go live at 6 o'clock on Mondays in my VIP group on Facebook, Keeping It Real, Cooking with Lisa. So you'll actually be able to see them there because I will show everybody that comes to the live cooking demo at 6 o'clock. I'm going to show them the cookies because I don't know what time it is. All right. So there's our glaze. 5:16. So they'll be out and a little cooled, and I really can't wait for my live tonight because I'm so hungry. But all right, I think our raisins are going to be right where they need to be. All right, so there's our icing. That's all made. Okay, and then I can just set that to the side with my 4-cup silicone lid and put that on top. Oh, it's boiling. It's fabulous. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to switch over to my saute spoon because the other one's not going to be big enough. We're going to add the flour, the sugar, all the seasonings, okay, to this mix. And it's like foaming up, which means it's at the right temperature because the baking soda will make it foam. Because this is similar to the way I make the raisin cake for my husband's annual Christmas Eve cake, which I think I'm going to be going live on Friday the 23rd to make that annual Christmas Eve cake. And I might go live in here and on Facebook at the same time in my cooking group to reach more people. And that would be our last of our lives for Heidi. Heidi was not like an avid baker or spending time in the kitchen, but she was young. She was 18 when she disappeared. So you can't necessarily say she wouldn't have grown into loving cooking or, doing that kind of stuff because she was so young when she was kidnapped. She would have graduated in May from Onondaga Community College with honors, and she completed her last year of high school and her freshman year of college all at the same time because we had both attended Bishop Cunningham, a Catholic high school that used to be in Oswego, New York, but it closed its doors. So the last graduating class was the class of 1992, and so she had a choice. She could go back to public school, or she applied for college, took the college entrance exam, aced it, and when a lot of her friends were just finishing high school, she was starting her second year of college courses and was set to pass. If she didn't pass her finals or take another exam, she would have still passed with honors. That's how, it's the way she was wired. It's how smart she was. So Onondaga Community College actually presented my parents with an honorary degree from the college, in Heidi's name, since it wasn't her fault that she didn't cross the stage at graduation. She was kidnapped. That was not. And they said she could have not turned in anything else the rest of the year, bombed her finals and her last papers, and she still would have graduated in honors. So it was only right that they present the diploma, which that was really nice. I didn't go. My parents went, and it was very special to them. I mean, the college did not have to do that, and they did, and it made such a powerful, positive impact on my parents. And even today, like as people come in, they have her degree from the college hung up for everybody to see because she earned it. All right, so once that's all mixed, the recipe then says spread on a greased and floured large cookie sheet. So this is where we're going to go a little bit different. I'm going to grab my Epicure sheet pan. I'm doing the full size. And then I'm going to use my Epicure liner. All right. And our Epicure liners, you don't have to spray them. And what I'm going to do, see, look, bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And I'm just going to spread this out on the liner. So I don't need to worry about adding any spray to this or adding any other chemicals because it's just going to cook right on the liner. And by the time I get to my live at 6 and I get dinner going, this should be cool enough for me to show how easy this is to take out of here. Because you're not going to want to cut on your Epicure liner, the silicone liner, right? Because otherwise your liner is going to get ruined. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to, I think my husband's really good like this. It reminds me of my mother-in-law's raisin cake. It even smells like it. So then it says you take this and you put it in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Be sure not to overbake. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 because I don't want to overbake it. And like that, we're done. And if you wanted it gluten-free, you could use our Epicure carrot cake and swap out the carrots for the raisins. Pretty fun, right? And then I have the icing is ready to drizzle on. And it will be a delicious dessert. Because for tonight, we're having a chicken steak with a creamy mushroom sauce. Yum! All right. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you'll pop over to my VIP cooking group so that you can see them pop easily out of the liner and check out dinner. All right. Thank you. And remember, there's always hashtag Hope for Heidi Ellen every day, 365, 24/7. We're just doing a little spotlight to honor her and remember her, because when you've lost a loved one, holidays can be a challenge, and sharing hope with others is one way to encourage yourself and others at the same time. Merry Christmas.